Right. Yeah, today I thought I'd kind of share a little bit about what I'm doing, what I'm working on. So I decided, that we make like a scholar, gamer, kind of writing, gaming slash little mix here. So far I have a little bit of writing on the screen that's from an article, or actually a book chapter I've been writing with Dr. Rick Marlett. And I thought I'd kind of get back into the writing and listen to how it sounds and play some Rocket League and kind of think about the writing. I want to start writing and working on this chapter and expanding it a little bit more. So to get into the chapter, I think I'm just going to listen to it, hang out a little bit, play some Rocket League, and then see where we're at the end of it. So let's give it a go. Let's see what we can do.
This qualitative case study examines the classroom experiences of 5 8th grade English Language Arts, ELA, students who all identify as female and used virtual reality, VR, applications and standards-based literacy practices to navigate nonfiction texts in pursuit of disarming a ticking time bomb. Over the course of 10 45-minute class periods, participants practiced active listening, reading engagement, and descriptive language by using a complex set of bomb diffusing instructions, an Oculus Go VR headset, and the VR game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Audio/video recordings of group interactions along with content analysis of students' collaborative work, written reflections, and interviews helped researchers address the question, how can middle school students leverage VR to develop 21st century literacies using nonfiction informational texts? Findings suggest that VR can facilitate meaningful critical collaboration that aligns with academic standards for literacy education and technology implementation while empowering learners toward cooperation, creativity, and computational thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Results also demonstrate VR's interdisciplinary connections between ELA and other content areas such as science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, as well as its implications for problematizing harmful gender constructs often reinforced in school. Keywords: virtual reality, 21st century literacies,
Okay.
nonfiction texts, English language arts.
I'll stop it there after the abstract, kind of think about that for a second. I also want to do a sound check on the stream here. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna check my stream, checking back, buddy. Wants to play Call of Duty. I can't play Call of Duty right now. I'm working on paper. Let's see how this sounds. Let's hear how it sounds. Perfect. Let's see if that's better. I don't hear my music as much as I'd like to, so see if I can get that going. Alright, let's see. Is that gonna be enough? I don't know, how's the volume for you out there? Are you tuning in? Can you hear that? Is the mix fine? I'm trying to make sure. I might turn up the volume a little bit. I think it needs to be a little bit louder. And I think these need to be a little bit louder. Let's see if that helps right there on the stream. Let's see. I'm hoping that kind of adds to it a little bit. I don't want it to be too loud, but I want it to be loud enough. I don't want to blast you, but at the same time, I want to make sure you guys can hear it when you want to hear it. see. That might be good, that might not. We'll see. Let's see how this abstract sounds when we're done.
This qualitative case study examines the classroom experiences of 5 8th grade English Language Arts, ELA, students who all identify as female and used virtual reality, VR, applications and standards-based literacy practices to navigate nonfiction texts in pursuit of disarming a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
Over the course of 10 45-minute class periods, participants practiced active listening, reading engagement, and descriptive language by using a complex set of bomb defusing instructions, an Oculus Go VR headset, and the VR game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Audio/video recordings of group interactions along with content analysis of students' collaborative work, written reflections, and interviews helped researchers address the question, how can middle school students leverage VR to develop 21st century literacies using nonfiction informational texts? Findings suggest that VR can facilitate meaningful critical collaboration that aligns with academic standards for literacy education and technology implementation while empowering learners toward cooperation, creativity, and computational thinking. Results also demonstrate VR's interdisciplinary connections between ELA and other content areas such as science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, as well as its implications for problematizing harmful gender constructs often reinforced in school. Keywords: virtual reality, 21st century literacies, nonfiction texts, English language arts. STEM. It's the actual bomb. 8th grade females use VR to develop 21st century literacies. The class alarm clock sounded, letting everyone know that it was time to rotate to the next learning station. Maria, all names are pseudonyms, and 4 female peers had completed the Shakespeare 360 virtual reality, VR, tour and were the next group scheduled for the Defusing the Bomb station. As our class of 8th grade ELA students migrated from one station to the next, Jose, a male student, whose group was departing from the bomb activity having been unsuccessful at disarming the weapon, smirked when Maria's group approached. "Bruh, I can't wait to see the ladies try to defuse that thing. There's no way they are going to beat it. It was so hard." There seemed to be a presumption held by Jose and his male peers who laughed at this comment that Maria's group was doomed to fail. The sense of frustrated tension his comment sparked was overmatched by a heavy dose of curiosity exhibited by Maria and her peers as they began reading the instructions for the game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. As practitioners, we redirected Jose by wishing him better luck next time and reminded him that all groups have the same set of tools and opportunity to be successful at each station.
Right.
As researchers, we couldn't help but notice that a kind of challenge had been raised, and that Maria's group was digging in with excitement, eager to answer the call. In this qualitative case study, 2 teacher educators set out to better understand how integrating VR-based activities with reading engagement, navigation of nonfiction texts, and descriptive language could impact the way students operationalize content knowledge and skills while expressing themselves and their personal learning experiences across the digital landscapes of the ELA classroom. Our inquiry was driven by the following question: how can students leverage virtual reality to develop 21st century literacies around nonfiction texts in middle school? The following chapter proposal offers a review of the scholarly literature that informs our work before describing the contexts and implementation of students' interdisciplinary, VR-based activities and summarizing potential implications of the present study. Literature review. The International Society for Technology in Education, ISTE, outlines 7 criteria for measuring how well today's students are prepared to succeed in an increasingly global, digitized society. While offering suggested instructional applications and recommendations for curricular assessment, ISTE standards posit that 21st century learners are 1. Empowered learners, 2. Digital citizens, 3. Knowledge constructors, 4. Innovative designers, 5. Computational thinkers, 6. Creative communicators, and 7. Global collaborators. ISTE,
Those ISTE standards are really
2019.
good there.
To position students for success across these standards, ELA teachers combine traditional disciplinary components such as literature study, writing instruction, and reading engagement with interdisciplinary applications of digital literacies and intersections of technology and texts that account for students' multimodal literacy practices. Contemporary Meaning Making, Marlat, 2019. The use of virtual reality, VR, to enhance teaching and learning is one area being increasingly explored by ELA researchers and practitioners. Freyna and Ott, 2015. Lexico, the online dictionary, defines VR as the computer-generated simulation of a three-dimensional image or environment that can be interacted with in a seemingly real or physical way by a person using special electronic equipment. Lexico, ND, Para 1. Devices such as headsets and smartphones make VR accessible to students through computer-generated sensory input that can be tailored towards specific content and learning applications. Harvey, 2018. By integrating VR activities with traditional, print-based literacy exercises, secondary teachers position students for complex textual engagement that is representative of their socially situated identities. Lancashire and Noble, 2011. Rapidly growing interest in VR is a recent example of ongoing efforts to integrate impactful technology applications into ELA curriculum in support of students' 21st century learning. Rice, 2016. Moran, 2019, supports comprehensive implementation of VR in classroom settings, arguing that virtual players and assignments promote student engagement, enhance reading and writing, and allow for cross-curricular exploration through cost-effective programs. VR presents opportunities for more student-driven, station-based collaboration for learners, especially alongside ELA content that has traditionally been facilitated through lecture. Harvey, Duell, and Marlat, 2019. Interactive learning stations in which students combine multiple literacy practices and VR to solve problems and self-propel content-based inquiry helps ELA break away from traditional lecturing, which de-emphasizes student autonomy and can result in isolated, inert consumption of non-contextualized information. Calvert, 2015. VR has the potential to help practitioners design multimodal curriculum and instruction that supports students' digital literacies, aligns with academic standards, and transcends content area boundaries, all the while positioning ELA education for greater equity with regard to technology integration in schools. Rybakova et al., 2019. VR implementation enables interdisciplinary connections between literacy and other content areas such as science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, that carry the potential for disrupting harmful gender constructs. Recent studies investigating curriculum and instruction within STEM-based contexts involve predominantly male participants and stakeholders. Ireland, Freeman, Winston Proctor, Delane, MacDonald Lowe, and Woodson, 2018. By using VR to democratize literacy operations such as navigating nonfiction informational texts, practicing active listening, formulating descriptive language, ELA teachers can problematize gender stereotypes through team building and problem solving. Interest in designing curriculum and instruction around the use of VR in ELA settings continues to increase as the technology becomes more affordable and potentially more accessible for schools. Moran, 2019. These current contexts present an ideal opportunity for educators to consider how VR can enhance the ELA experience for students while making connections between classroom activities and academic standards.
Okay, so that's so far what we got. Obviously we're gonna do a lot with it, and we have a long ways to go. But the idea is to think about. We were working on this group in my media literacy class. It was like a station-based gaming approach to language arts, and we had VR as one of the stations. The activity was keep talking and nobody explodes. And what was fascinating is we had a group of all females that we put together, and they were like the second or third. I think they were like the second or third to go, and they had just gone after a group of guys, or they were going after a group of guys that had just gone. And when the guys saw that the girls were going to be doing it, they were very curious. You know, like, oh, like, you think they're going to be better than us? Do you think they're going to do it quicker? Do you think they'll be slower? Yada yada yada. And so, what's fascinating is over the course of the 3 days that the students were at the station, they slowly developed the skills by sharing the Oculus Go and the program, and they were able to finally defuse the bomb. It took a while, and there was a lot of good learning within that. You know, you would say, well, did they pass because they defused the bomb? Well, you could keep playing, you know, on different modes and get it more and more challenging. It wasn't like you pass, you fail. It was more interesting to think about what they were learning as a result of playing the game, not necessarily whether they failed or succeeded as a result of defusing the bomb. So it was kind of fun to see how the learning took shape, as opposed to thinking about what type of operational knowledge they needed from it. I think we learned by presenting one of the stations as a VR ELA station with games. You know, it's got to have some clear objectives, but you can't expect that the learning outcomes are all going to be the same for everybody. Everyone has different strengths, everyone has different weaknesses when it comes to technology or reading and literacy. And so what's fun about this small group-based keep talking and nobody explodes is one person has a VR headset, the other people are accessing the bomb diffusing manual, and we were using Chromebooks. All my students have Chromebooks, thank goodness. And around them are, well, there's one person with a VR, and then around the person with the VR, people with the worksheets. And the object is to have the person with VR talk to the people with the manual to figure out how they're going to defuse that bomb. And it's pretty difficult because the people with the manual can't see what the bomb diffuser can see, and whatever the bomb diffuser is looking at is only to be described through words, so that people who are reading the manual can then orient back to the bomb diffuser on what to do. And it's very challenging, and the manual is no joke. The manual is 28 pages, and we're talking some pretty confusing looking puzzles. We're talking about a lot of phrases and numbers, and codes, and lines, and it's pretty amazing. Now, I have pictures of what the manual looks like in the paper, the article, or the book chapter, and it would be nice to provide like a video of what it's like. You know, I was thinking I should be playing that while talking about this, but you know, to be honest, it would be too hard to talk because we would be trying to defuse the bomb. This is kind of fun. It keeps it light. The other one's pretty serious and scary. Whoa, it hit the house. So, it should be pretty good. I'm pretty pumped about it. So the goal is to, in the chapter, is to kind of describe how that was set up and what that looked like, so that other teachers can kind of make that their own and do what they want with it. I've done this for a couple of years now, and it's a pretty fascinating way to get kids to be interested in the way we use descriptive language. And so when kids are describing things in VR, you know, they have to be they have to think about the prepositions. Where are they talking about? Is it underwear? Is it overwear? You know, through there, is it around what? And people, a lot of times when they're playing video games, they like to say, it's over there, it's over there. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It's overwear. You have to describe to me what you're talking not only is that important for people communicating, but everyone has to be patient and really understand the importance of clear communication, because if you're, everyone's always played one of those games where you partner up with someone like Dictionary or Charade, and they just say stuff, and you're like, I don't know what to take serious and what not to take serious. When you're in VR and you're defusing a bomb and you're freaking out and you're trying to describe yourself, I mean, it can be pretty difficult, and it's hard to figure out what someone means, and as each person takes over the role as diffuser from being the assistant on the side, I think they go from having a sense of empathy to sympathy about what it's like, and slowly, I mean, people start to change, and eventually the group starts to get it, and they start to understand the puzzles, and there's a sense of fluency and literacy that happens with space in the game, where they're like comfortable, and they're starting to have fun and challenge themselves and get through it. And so I think it took the females like 3 days to do it, but it was awesome, and they felt really empowered, and it was a really fun experience to just kind of see all of that take place. Now there's a lot that goes down specifically. There's a lot that goes down specifically with it, but I don't want to, get into all the special parts. I want you to want to read it one day. It's going to be hopefully part of an awesome book, and I'll tell you what it is right now. Keep it on the lowdown. But we're doing some fun stuff here, and it may not be about Rocket League, but it is about games, and I'm a scholar gamer. I do like gaming and talking about. Oh no! I do like talking about games while gaming, and trying to get creative with the way that these ideas are presented. What's going there? Like a battle. And that's just kind of what it's about, having some fun. I'm looking forward to finishing this article up, but I kind of like to get back to teaching. I've done this activity before with my pre-service teachers at the University of New Mexico, where I get them to be working on the same activities our students would. So they're working on defusing bombs in VR, and they're working on their descriptive teaching skills and language and all that stuff, because I think in order to be able to challenge kids with those types of technologies means we need to also be making sure that our teachers are feeling a little bit comfortable with these innovative pieces of technology that, honestly, I don't think a lot of people have yet, and so the sooner that we start making these activities a little bit more accessible and used. A lot of people talk about stuff and people can do it. Can I get the ball in there? Let's see what happens. What happens if it goes in there? Alright, let's go for it. Oh, let's see what we special. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. I want to make sure that this all gets taken care of. Dude, is this gonna work? Okay. I am gonna go full speed at it. I don't know what's gonna happen. What's the fact? How fast do I need to be? As much as I thought. It really bounced a lot. Let's get it back, but give it space to rattle out. Yeah, nice and yes, it's perfect. This one's for our book chapter. I don't know what it is. Pop me out. Let me hear the book chapter. Let me hear the abstract one more time.
This qualitative case study examines the classroom experiences of 5 8th grade English Language Arts, ELA, students who all identify as female and used virtual reality, VR, applications and standards-based literacy practices to navigate nonfiction texts in pursuit of disarming a ticking time bomb. Over the course of 10 45-minute class periods, participants practiced active listening, reading engagement, and descriptive language by using a complex set of bomb diffusing instructions, an Oculus Go VR headset, and the VR game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Audio/video recordings of group interactions along with content analysis of students' collaborative work, written reflections, and interviews helped researchers address the question, how can middle school students leverage VR to develop 21st century literacies using nonfiction informational texts? Findings suggest that VR can facilitate meaningful critical collaboration that aligns with academic standards for literacy education and technology implementation while empowering learners toward cooperation, creativity, and computational thinking. Results also demonstrate VR's interdisciplinary connections between ELA and other content areas such as science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, as well as its implications for problematizing harmful gender constructs often reinforced in school.
Okay.
Keywords: virtual reality, 21st century literacies, nonfiction texts, English language arts. STEM.
It sounds pretty good. I'm really digging it. I think it's going to be a strong chapter. I wish I had the chance to pull some of my research subjects back and say, hey, what do you remember as the highlight of that workstation for you? Oh, look at that movie pulled on that board over there. Oh man, you can't win them all off the word processor. Ay, ay, ay. We'll finish off the stream with this game just because, why not? Let's get a game, let's get a W. See what we can do. Boom. What we gotta do is get a goal, find goal. Go for it, buddy. I like the little hat he's got. I was gonna get some boost, but I guess that was a bad idea. I wonder what happened to him. Oh, poor guy. I thought he knocked it out. Never expect the expected. Wait, so how do you expect it? There you go. Nice little pass play. I can deal with that. Nice little pass play. Look at that. Look at this tree. Look at his wheels. Look at the kid. Look at him go. Wow. Just hit it to the side. Just boost. Come on, baby. Oh, missed it. Bad move. He's gonna challenge it. He's gonna miss. Oh, no, it actually goes. It's free in. Weird. Tricky. Come on, buddy. La la Lulu. Ah, saved. Oh, and a great defensive play. Gets just inside of him and tries to prevent him from doing anything silly. Watch this. Listen, bud, you don't want to do anything about this. Let this go in. No. Boom. Just battle him on the side. He's like, oh yeah? Let's do this battle because it's tie game. Half the game's up, and I should have got it. Way down. Oh. I don't want to do that. Tricky. Like that. That was a little capitalization. I'm happy with that. Up. I want to hear some more. We have another paragraph on us too. In the last 2 minutes, see if I can get a nice point to start. Maybe not. I might just have to finish it off like this. Oh man. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, and we will just jump into it. Let's see if we can finish this off strong. That's a nice pop-up. I don't think I have enough boost yet to work with it. Oh. Uh-oh, gonna pop it. Oh, it bounces it over. Takes the boost. Oh, is it tipped just enough? It's always wide. Always just a little wide. I can do better than that. Oh, gets it. Nice last second tap, buddy. I am just out of control. It's alright. Oh my gosh, what was I doing? What was I doing? Oh no! Sorry, Lulu. Whatever your name is. Saved it. Needed that. Oh, I should have dropped that thing out of it. Didn't want to commit. I couldn't, like, push it away. Can I get something cool? Just in the nick of time, gets one last one. I'll be happy with that to end the stream. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you got a chance to kind of see a little bit of how I spend my time writing and thinking about games and everything in between. I mean, they kind of go together. Oh my gosh, is there gonna be one more? It's one more to finish off this perfect. Yeah, like I said, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you get these videos in if you're interested in writing, literacy, gaming, VR, all that fun stuff, esports, all that.